At some point, someone got close enough that you felt it. Not warmth, but pressure. And you didn't pull away because they were wrong. You pulled away because something felt too real. Without making a decision, you created distance. You've probably explained this to yourself in different ways. Too busy, wrong timing, not quite right. But those weren't explanations. They were exits. And the strange part is, you built those exits so naturally, you didn't even notice you were building them. But the exits aren't the interesting part. What's interesting is what you were protecting, and whether you've ever actually named it. You enjoy your own time more than you admit. Evenings without plans don't feel empty, they feel controlled. You've met people who were kind, available, easy to talk to, nothing obviously wrong. And then somewhere between the second conversation and the third, something goes quiet. Not dramatic, not obvious, just gone. You didn't lose interest. You regulated it. There's usually one you remember, the one who said something that made it clear they were starting to count on you. And what you felt in that moment wasn't warmth, it was distance. Immediate, clean, certain. And the strangest part? It felt right. Most people assume this comes from fear. Fear of being hurt. Fear of the wrong person. That's not what's happening. This isn't about what might go wrong. It's about what your system has already learned to avoid. The distance you create doesn't feel like avoidance. It feels like clarity. Like you're just seeing things properly. But that certainty has a source, and it's older than any relationship you've had. Think of it like a thermostat set slightly wrong. Not broken, just calibrated to treat too much closeness as something to reduce. That's what psychologists call a deactivating strategy. When someone gets emotionally close enough, your system doesn't register it as safety. It registers it as demand. And instantly, three things happen. The feeling of closeness gets suppressed. Your focus shifts to what you might lose, and small doubts start to feel like real reasons. Suddenly, things that didn't matter start to matter. And here's the part most people miss. It doesn't feel like a defense mechanism. It feels like good judgment. Attachment research shows something strange. People with this pattern can feel physiological stress around someone they genuinely like, while consciously believing they feel completely fine. Two systems, running at the same time, and slightly out of sync. That gap is where the pattern lives. You're texting someone you like. It's easy, light, effortless, nothing at stake. Then they send something different, something real, something that makes them feel present. You read it, and then you put your phone down, not because something was wrong, but because something changed. They stopped being a possibility and became a reality. And reality is exactly where this pattern activates. Here's the part most people never realize. This response doesn't activate most around the wrong people. It activates most around the right ones. The more someone actually fits, the more something in you starts to pull away. Not because they're wrong, but because they're close. The threat isn't rejection. The threat is real connection. And that's why this pattern is so hard to see, because it hides inside what feels like logic. You don't stop feeling the pull, you just stop trusting it blindly. The next time that feeling shows up, don't focus on the urge to leave. Focus on the space before you act on it. Because the pattern was never really about the wrong person. It was about what the right one costs. And once you see that, you start noticing it everywhere. Not just in relationships, but in anything that gets too close to something real.